Hi everybody, welcome back to Law Hero. My name is Jen and I look at all things law related, and today we are delving into the unknown territory of Zoom interviews, because let's face it, there's going to be probably no face-to-face interviews for the time being, but there is a few things to consider before you sit your Zoom interview. So let's get right into them. Okay, so the first thing is to make sure you have downloaded the requisite apps either onto your laptop or onto your iPad or your phone, although I wouldn't really recommend doing an interview on a phone simply because it's very small. The most commonly used platforms are Skype, Microsoft Teams and Zoom. I would just go set up username, password, have them saved somewhere, because if you're in an interviewing process, you're going to be using them rather a lot. So you might as well just free up some space, take off some photos and have those apps downloaded before it becomes an issue. The next thing is make sure all your devices are charged. This has happened to me before, in that I was panicking looking at the charge going down. I was like, oh my god, I hope this thing doesn't cut off. I'm too nervous to tell them. It's also not professional. So make sure you have your stuff charged. Make sure if you're sharing the Wi-Fi with someone, they get off while you're on your interview, because you want it to be as clear as possible. You don't want to be breaking up the whole time. Turn off all notifications on your phone, put it on silent. Turn off all notifications on your laptop, iPad, whichever device you're using for the interview. I would do a complete dry run. I do this with my iPad, and what I do is I turn on the warm light here beside me. I find that warm light is better for the camera, whereas white light is a bit harsh, and I just do a check, as in I make sure I put myself in the middle of the screen and I make sure that there's nothing distracting behind me. Like I have fairy lights here and I turn them off, for example. Yeah, obviously I do interviews here in my chair. For you it might be different, you might be house sharing. Just give the people around you a heads up that you're doing an interview. You need it to be quiet. If you have kids, try and leave them with somebody else, because yeah, I have seen kids come in on interviews and it is disruptive. Not for me, but it's more for the parent, because they feel like they have to go and tend to the child, which is perfectly natural. So yeah, like close the door. Make sure the angle is correct. Like make sure it's not like this. Like make sure they're not looking up your nose, or make sure like it's not like this either, where it's just like, oh hello, this is just my neck. You know what I mean? Like you want to be see now where I am here. Like if, another thing as well is like, look, for example, the bottle, right? It's not very nice. You take that away. Now I'm bang here in the middle. Do you get me? And that's where you want to be. You want all the attention to be on you. Now if you go to my Law Hero website page, you'll see that with the younger members, I did a video with a lady called the Style Bob, and she talks about what to wear to interview and whatnot. Now today I'm actually wearing black, but it's not all black. I have some flowers going on. I also have a hairband on, so I'm not like blending into the background. Sometimes I'll wear a white shirt, but actually it can be, when you're doing an interview, that can be a bit too white and you look a bit too much like an angel. So black is always good, white collar is always good. If you're a man, a blue shirt is always good. That's like in a nutshell, but there's so much to colour psychology. Again, go to the video linked on my homepage. If you go to Milk Rounds, you'll see it on that page. Have some water beside you so that you don't get thirsty during it. You will, but you just don't want to be like like a zombie. Oh yeah, body language. Okay, so right now I'm on camera, and humans can still detect body language through a camera. So if you're really, really nervous and you're just like they're gonna know that's not a face that's like, concentrating and focused and relaxed. They're gonna know you're not relaxed, and you can try your best to hide who you really are and how you're really feeling, but it will come across on camera. So the other thing as well is you should get used to being on camera. This has taken me a long time myself, but it is really, really a skill when you understand how lighting can make you actually look better. And you know, the great thing about interview is like via these platforms is we don't have to go to the location. We have more time to consider you know, what we're going to say at interview. And I'm going to be making lots more videos around this, around interview questions, around competency based. I'm going to talk about, you know, the road to getting to interview, all of that. I'm going to put that up on my YouTube channel. Yeah, there are advantages to not being in the physical location. I mean, if you are super nervous and you are sweating like a pig, it's not gonna come across as quickly as it would were the person in front of you, you know, because you don't have all of the, you know, the sensory. You're deprived in a sensory way. Like all you can see is what you see and what you hear, but all the other senses are gone. You know what I mean? So it's almost as if those senses, as in what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, are heightened. That's why when you speak, you're going to be heard, you know, not as clearly as if you were in the room, but you are going to be looked at as well. People, just because someone is speaking and you're not making eye contact with them and you think, oh, they won't notice if I'm making eye contact, they know if you're listening or not. So if somebody's speaking, make sure you keep looking at the screen and that you're not looking off, or that you're not doing something else, or you're not on your phone, because people are still observing you throughout the interview. You know, don't get caught up in the trap of, oh, well, she's talking, she's probably not looking at me right now. They are. So yeah, I mean, that's Zoom interviews in a nutshell from my point of view. Most of my subscribers are millennials and are very, very used to technology and are very, very adaptable people. They're used to going online for this and that, and the YouTube generation, they're used to videos, they're used to talking into a camera, recording themselves, taking selfies. So this isn't a major leap. I would imagine it would be more difficult for people who struggle with technology, but I'm assuming that that's not my viewers. So yeah, if you have an interview coming up, best of luck. Be very calm, get your technology right, get your dry run right, make sure everything is charged, and then, you know, go and focus on the substantive part of the interview, which is, you know, knowing the job spec, you know, knowing the firm you're applying to, all of that. Best of luck and stay tuned for more.